Today I'm here to talk a little bit about why it causes us suffering to be attached to our personal special self. You know, A Course in Miracles says all the time that we are afraid of love. And the first time I heard it, I thought it was really strange because I thought to myself, of course I'm not afraid of love. You know, that's all I want in my life. I want people to love me. I want to love people, and love is the most beautiful thing in the world and things like that. But when the Course in Miracles says that we are afraid of love, what it means is that love is not, what we normally know as love, meaning me, Juliana, who loves somebody else, like having a subject, that is loved by me. But what it means by love is the awareness, the consciousness that we are more than our physical and also even our personality, our physical body and our personality. So if I'm more than that, then nobody can really affect me or make me sad or even, happy, because I am a divine being, and I decide about the way I feel. So nobody can really change who I am or change the self that I am, the being that I am. And of course, when we think about that, then when I first thought about it, I felt very lonely because it felt like, well, if nobody can change who I am, if nobody can make me happy, if nobody can make me sad, then what's the point of having a relationship with people anyway? But that's the thing, we have relationships with people because we ought to learn that we are love, and that we are this consciousness, that we are this divine being, that we are the sons and daughters of God. But what we do normally is, it's not always true, but how can I say? When we get into a discussion, for example, and I'm trying to make my point, so go around and listen, just pay attention to what people are sharing or talking in restaurants, in bars, or, in events. If you really pay attention to it, you will see people are maybe most of the time trying to make a point, trying to defend a point of view. And why do we do that? Because we believe that we are our thoughts, we believe we are our labels, we believe we are the definitions that we give to ourselves, and we don't know that we are much more than that we are love. So what we do is, when I have an opinion about a certain thing. So for example, now in Brazil, there is everybody's just talking about politics and the election that's going to be this Sunday. Well, when you watch this video, it will be already gone, but anyway. So people are now talking and discussing about the candidates and, who should we vote for and things like that. And when they talk about what they think about it, they are very fearful, and they are very hard, and they are very strict, because we believe we are our thoughts, and we believe then we're not defending a thought or a point of view, we are defending who we are. So that's why it's very important to make a point and to, so that to convince the other person that who we are is a good thing. So that's why we try to sell our beliefs, our thoughts, and the things we enjoy, because we think that's the way people will get to know us. But I don't know about you, but me, for example, I change my mind maybe every 5 minutes, or even less than that. So if, for example, something that I really enjoyed on one day, and then the other day I don't really like it, or I'm not so interested, or the other way around, something that I was resistant against, and then all of a sudden I love this thing. And imagine if that was who I was, and if I tried, for example, if I have a friend, and let's say, I don't know, just name something. So let's say we enjoyed surfing together, and then we do this surfing thing as we were young, and that's what holds us together, let's put it this way, so that's what this friend appreciates about me, and vice versa. And then one day, because now I'm old, so I don't want to surf anymore, but then I meet this friend, and I think that I have to keep up, I have to continue on surfing, just because that's what my friend liked. I mean, he didn't like me, he just liked the facts that I serve. You see, and that's how we create suffering for ourselves, because we try, right? We try to keep what we think we are, and how can I say, we try to keep that up, like we try to remain that person so that we can still get that love from people. And me, for example, I used to say I was a vegetarian, and then I never ate meat. And then one day a friend of mine, he invited me you know, for dinner, and he invited some other people as well, and he was cooking some kind of meat, and that was the only dish that he was cooking. And I thought, you know, I can just eat a little bit, and that won't make me like, because the thing is, I was so strict to myself that I wasn't eating any, you know, meat, and then eating at his place, how can I say, made me judge myself and think that maybe I was not, yeah, like I was not faithful to what I was saying. But then I realized that's so silly, and I realized, you know, if I want to not suffer, then I can go with the flow, and my personality, or my identity, what I call my identity, what I call, you know, what I believe I am, then it goes, how can I say, it gets less and less, it gets softer. So it's like a cloud that adapts to every situation. Not that I'm, you know, I'm always adapting to what people want from me, but I can feel at each time what I feel like doing and what I like doing at that time. And it not always has to do with what I did, you know, last year and stuff. So sometimes it's hard. That's why it's hard for us to change something. Because let's say if I tell myself my whole life that I'm an impatient person, and then if one day I realize, oh, actually, you know, I'm such a patient person, and then we have a hard time because we think we're going to be less of ourselves. That's what I've been since I was born, and then now I cannot change. So I wanted to make this video to, you know, just to share a thought and an insight that I had. And it was actually funny because it was a friend of mine, he had a discussion with the other person, and then she said something, I'll try to translate it into English, but she said that he was a bad carrier. And he was very, very angry, and he was telling me that, and I said, oh, you should have told her, you know, I'm not a bad carrier. I'm the one who rules here in this place. I'm the king. And just the very thought was very funny, because he was, you know, neither a bad carrier or the king. I mean, he was much more than that. He was the source of all these manifestations. And that's why the more we try to define ourselves, and the more we try to how can I say, like, establish something and say, that's it, that's who I am, then the more we suffer, because we are going to try very hard to maintain that, and that causes a lot of suffering. And we can be whoever we are right now, and the way I feel about something now can change in the next 5 minutes, and that doesn't make me less of myself. So thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the next video.